Good morning, warriors. Hope you guys having a good morning so far. It's early this morning, but as you can see, the light's starting to come out, so we're getting closer to springtime. But I love this weather. It's very nice, nice and cold and nice. So I hope you guys had a chance. I did one a video last night, and I like doing one on Sunday nights a little bit. It's kind of a good meditation and a good chance to kind of just reflect back on the week and kind of do one. So I did one yesterday on Rudyard Kipling's poem "If," which I think is a great poem to kind of read and look at. So I hope you had a chance to view that one. And as always, thank you for the subscriptions, donations, comments, likes. Please continue doing that, and we'll be able to kind of get information that could actually get out and maybe help you guys or motivate you to kind of keep going. And I did talk to somebody during the week who has done this for like 7 days, and as everybody else has. And I think this is how you really look at whether things work or not. You look at what people are doing and the experiences they have. Another person who is seeing a lot of great benefits of not losing all their energy, and I realize at a certain age, especially, and this person's about 20 years old, and I realize it's very, very difficult to go on long streaks when you're younger, and there's no doubt about that, especially if you're going to eventually have children and things like that. But if we look at the overall picture, it is much better to learn this lifestyle and continue working on this lifestyle until you're ready to go, monk mode, than to actually just go ahead and keep losing energy all the time. These young people doing it 3, 4, 5 times a day are just killing themselves. And I think this person who was talking to me realized that after a week of this, and he's about 20 years old, and he realized that there's a lot of benefits to this. And then he's seeing these benefits, and he's realizing that, there's something to this. And so this is where you actually see it. A lot of people talk about things, but unless they actually see what's actually happening around them, they don't actually believe a lot of it. And I think this is an important type of thing that you can tell people until they're blue in the face, and this is why we have the 1% Club. You can tell them until they're blue in the face, but the point being is that they're not going to actually be able to see this unless they actually do it. And I think this is kind of the whole key to a lot of the situation we see. So continue striving on, warriors, battle on. Hopefully we start making this into more than 1%, but there's a reason why we're the chosen ones that realize all this information. And I believe it's at least part of my mission to get this out and talk about it and discuss, and help people as much as I can while I can. So I appreciate all that, and I'm blessed. I feel very grateful to all of you guys, and so I hope you're going to have a great morning. So this topic is one that I saw I think it was in a video, and I've also saw this when I was at listening to Mass yesterday. Listening to Mass yesterday, and it really is a very interesting type of comment, and it talks about overcoming. And we don't realize how life is until we have to really kind of struggle. And there's a reason for that. I think there is a contrast all through life, all through the Bible, with good and evil. Ups and downs, right? Sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't go so well, and all of a sudden now you're faced with a situation where you have to continue to come back and fight back. And I think certainly when it comes to retention, that's certainly the case. You have to come back and fight back and overcome obstacles to be able to achieve things. The old saying, which didn't make a lot of sense to me until I've gotten a little bit older, is the fact that you cannot see the light unless you have darkness. So you're going to have to walk through the darkness to see the light. And that makes a lot more sense to me now. Because without the light, you have no darkness, and without the darkness, you have no light. So you have to kind of see the contrast to know where you're going. Just like in your journey. We have to be able to know where we're going on our journey to be able to see ahead of us, even 2 or 3 feet. And some of you have been traveling. I know you know that, with the fog and different types of things, it's very difficult to see ahead of you, even 2 steps away. Excuse me, I'm tired this morning. But the thing about it is that as you look at this, the key thing is that we're all going to have to face times in which we struggle. And the struggle comes from a lot of different places. And I think Satan will use opportunities to, make us struggle through things. And God uses those situations to help us overcome things. So as we look at those type of things, we know that Satan is kind of looking for our weak spots of temptation, and he tries to, get us to get into addictions and things like that. But all these things become in God's plan in the long run, and this is where Satan is fooled. Oh man, especially like the art of war. Knowing the art of war, at the Sun Tzu, when you look at art of war, it's almost like you're allowing the person to look like they're at an advantage when in fact they're not. So I believe God allows Satan to think that he's got an advantage when in fact God uses these plans in his own way. And so every time you go through some kind of struggle, Satan may be winning for a short period of time, but eventually you overcome that and you're able to kind of move ahead and succeed on a whole different level. And I think that provides even greater seeds. And so every kind of failure, as Napoleon Hill said, every failure is all it is really another seed to a success later on. And I think when you look at all the way life is, you'll see that. You'll see that there's times where you struggled, things didn't go the right way, and it could be lots of different areas. It could be something when you're talking about finances, you could be talking about health, you could talk about social situations, you could be, take relationships, you could play about the workplace. All these things there's a reason for. I personally think that God allows these things to happen only to kind of move you in the right direction eventually. And I think the more you can listen to God and do that, the more you can kind of see that. So every night, the Sunday meditation, I tend to try to spend some time with the Lord, and then also dreaming about that at night to be able to kind of get closer to my God as I go along, so I can listen to those messages and understand them better. All right, so we know it's early in the morning here. But the thing is that I think when it comes to overcoming, we have to kind of be able to say, okay, we can accept this, and it's not something that's going to hurt us, kill us. The only time you fail is when you don't try anymore. And this is important when it comes to retention. I could have quit many, many times, but I believed in this type of idea that you don't quit. And so as I learned more and more information about this, something I thought was impossible was very possible. And now I see, how foolish I was all those years of not trying to do this a lot earlier. Though once again, I would say that it's probably not being foolish. It's that's in God's plan that I'm learning to do this now than I was earlier for a reason, And so I don't know that reason. I will never know that reason. But at least I have an idea and belief that God is in my favor and supporting me. And the faith that I have in that says, okay, there's a reason for all this happening. I don't know what that might be, but I do know that it's all for the good in the long run. And I think if you know that, then you're able to go ahead and say, okay, I can go ahead and deal with this and work through it. So that's why I think retention is not an easy thing. But again, it's kind of the ultimate challenge that you have to not be able to lose energy as you're going along. Man, this is a tiring morning, huh? Monday morning. Hope you guys are not as tired as I am this morning. Man, oh man. But I think the thing is that you really want to do is make sure that you're overcoming, even being tired, right? Overcome and keep moving on. Keep moving on. But yes, I think that certainly Satan puts in situations where they're putting in things that are telling you that, okay, this is bad, you need to do this, and you need to feel sorry for yourself, depressed, and things like that. And what you got to do is just pick yourself up, as they used to say, knock the dust off yourself and keep moving. I remember an old story, and I don't remember if this is the Bible story or it's just basically a parable or something I saw. They were asking Satan to pick cards, and he picked all the other cards. He said, famine and storms and all kinds of other types of calamities that can happen to a person. But they asked Satan which is the most powerful one. He held this one and he put it down, and he listed all the other ones, and those are pretty, bad, obviously calamities. But he picked the one up, and this is the one that said hope, lack of hope, depression. And the idea was that Satan felt like if he can create depression and he can create you to doubt yourself, that's the whole key. That's the whole key. Then the other ones become easy because then he can use the other ones to go ahead and kind of finish you off. But my friends, it doesn't matter if we're talking about retention or anything else. The retention is probably the best one to go with when you talk about this. In my opinion, the whole form of life, as Emerson said, is to build faith, is to build trust. And I think the whole idea that we talk about here is the fact that as you are going through life, you realize that it really becomes a matter of good and evil. And we see this in the world, especially now. But the point being is that Satan tries to use all his wiles, and he's obviously not as powerful as Jesus or God is, but he basically uses his wiles, manipulation, different types of forms to be able to get you to become weak. And if you become weak, then you are more able to say, okay, I am not going to, thank you, nobody. You're not going to go ahead and, you're not going to go ahead and say, I'm going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and give up. And that's the whole idea that you really kind of want to avoid. You want to avoid not giving up. And I think that the idea was, I saw we had the situation up here a little bit. But the idea is that you're looking at things, you're really kind of looking at the idea that Satan is trying to use you and weaken you down so that you end up giving up and you distrusting God and moving away from God. And I think this is the whole key to avoiding all this. You don't want to get to the point where you're at a point where you're giving up. You don't want to go to the point where you're basically saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And so when people commit suicide, when they do the different types of things, they're at the point of saying, okay, I don't really want to go on. And this is where Satan has got you. And what you really want to do is continue putting one foot forward, no matter what happens to you. And every day is a new day to a wise person, as they always say. And you want to continue moving ahead and forward. And you want to go ahead and thwart the devil any way you can. And I think the whole key is to continue to have faith. And as long as you keep faith in your journey, in this case retention, if you want to keep your faith and you want to go ahead and keep moving on and take one step at a time and go through anything that life has given you, no matter what Satan is putting in front of you, then you will succeed and you will get all the benefits of what we're talking about. Now, I believe that in my mind, monk mode allows you to do that the best way, because now you're keeping all your energy and now you have all your resources to deal with the devil. When you're weak, which happens a lot, the devil can capitalize on that, and now it makes it even harder and harder to overcome things. But the overcoming things is something that we all have to do at some level. It may be a small thing to overcome, it may be a large thing to overcome, but the thing is that we need to look at how to overcome things to make things better for us. And I think that's where a lot of the strength and things come in that make us stronger. So it's a great topic to look at. But again, in summary, and I know I lost a little concentration there a little bit. We had some crazy things going on out here. But the thing is that the whole course of life you're going to have struggles. Once again, you can't have the light without darkness. And so you're going to have some level of darkness, some problems. If you have no problems, then something is about ready to hit you at some point. And the thing is that once you do see that, then you have to overcome that. But the question is going to be, how strong is your inner braces? How strong are your faith in the fact, in God, and in what is around you? And that's the whole key. And if you do that, the more you can do that, the better off you're going to be. And so Satan will not be able to weaken you, which is what happens all the time. Satan will not be able to weaken you, and you will be strong enough to be able to say, I can go on, and then you can actually have your stronger relationship with your God. And I think that's the biggest key of all. So once again, I hope that helps my friends in the morning, and inspire you, move ahead. I hope things go well for you today. And this is once again Valentine's Day, so don't forget to tell your person in your life that how important they are and how grateful and blessed they are, to be someone that around for you and to help you, and that you help them as well. So tell them you love them, and we have a great day today, guys, and continue to battle on. God bless you.